Can you briefly tell us why the company is bringing Weatherbond in the Philippines?
Oh, uh, Weatherbond is our flagship exterior paint. Yeah, and this Weatherbond brand has been introduced in many countries. Yeah, and it's our best exterior paint available. Yeah, so I think now is the time that we want to also introduce to Philippine market, yeah, to ensure that, as I mentioned, there are so many buildings that can be even more beautiful if they have chosen the right exterior paint, yeah. And we believe Weatherbond is the best for the extreme weather that you experience in the Philippines.
Sir, are you positioning the product more as a consumer product or more as commercial?
Oh, okay. Actually, in for our Weatherbond, it's good for DIY or homeowner. Yeah, as long you have an exterior wall, you can use it. And of course, the high-rise building. Yeah, that I think, as RJ presented, the if you choose a wrong exterior paint, the cost is even higher. That means you see your high-rise building. Normally, for painting a high-rise building, the rule of the thumb is 50% of the cost is on labor, and the other 50% is on the paint. But nowadays, I think all the labor cost has increased. And if you are talking about more than 20 to 30 story high, then you need a lot of all these equipments like a gondola to do the painting, and this is costly. So if you use a cheap or low quality exterior paint, you have to repaint it again maybe 3 years or 5 years after you're repainted. So again, you have to fork up another huge budget to do the repainting, and the cost of the labor again took half of it. So if you look into that, it's even better you invest maybe as, although the price is slightly higher, but the in terms of the durability can be 8 to 10 years. That additional 2 cycle actually save you a lot of money. Yeah.
One last question from me. More and more companies in the Philippines are now looking at sustainability as far as the building materials are concerned. Would you say that Weatherbond is a sustainable product for them
Yes.
to choose?
Yeah, definitely. All our water-based product meeting all these requirements when come to environmental friendly and sustainability. Yeah. So it's we have all the test report that to prove that this product is not harmful, and it definitely meets the requirement, both international standard and local standard. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Uh, do you have, apart from media releases, do you have promotional campaigns to further promote the Nippon Paint Weatherbond series?
Yeah, as I explained just now, one of the most important thing is to have all these roadshow with our commercial partners. Yeah, as we mentioned, those modern trade that we have and our distributor. So we will go. Places with them and introduce in the roadshow, during the roadshow. Yeah, and of course nowadays you cannot escape social media. So we also will invest on the digital side on this promotion of Weatherbond. Yeah.
It's a nationwide launch, right?
Yes, yes. This I have my sales manager from Visayas and Mindanao is here, and some of my distributor also coming from Davao and also Cebu. Yeah.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yep.
What about future plans for Nippon Paint and the Weatherbond series? Aside from the nationwide launching, what are the other plans for this product?
Okay, I think one of the very important things, as this gentleman also asked, whether this product is for homeowner and also commercial. Yeah, we want to target the project side of this industry, because as I mentioned, high-rise building actually is the most important to have a good exterior paint. So we will work together with our architects partners to promote this among the architects and also the contractors, yeah, in the project sectors. Yeah. Hopefully, more and more people can start differentiate that why or understand why it's so important to have a good exterior paint, especially for high-rise building, and with your extreme weather that we face in the Philippines. Yeah.
Sir, earlier you mentioned that Nippon Paint and I'm sorry, ma'am, was it Brandy? Brandy. What other strong points that Nippon Paint has compared to its competitors?
Okay. Nippon Paint is a very old brand. We established in 1881. And that means you are 144 years old now. Yeah. And as I mentioned, we are number 4 worldwide, yeah, and number 1 in Asia Pacific. So we definitely has all the experience and also innovation technology whole world to understand what is a requirement, yeah, in terms of a good paint. And we are in all the segment. So beside home decorative paint, we also have the automotive and motorcycle, all this. We have the marine paint. We have the industrial protective coating paints. And even if your car, the second after you bought the car, you involved in minor fender bender, you want to retouch, we also have auto refinish paint, meaning aftermarket paint. Yeah. So we have a very good experience when it comes to or track record when it comes to paint technology and also in terms of innovation. Yeah. So if you compare, I'm not saying that the other brand is no good, but I felt we have the advantage having this global exposure, yeah, and with such a long history in this paint industry, definitely we have a better offering. Yeah. And we understand. I was in Bangladesh 2 weeks ago, launching Weatherbond in Bangladesh. Yeah.
So which country in Asia is your biggest in terms of revenue?
You mean Nippon Paint?
Yes.
Biggest. We are biggest. We are number 1 in China. We are number 1 in Malaysia. We are number 1 in Singapore. We are number 1 in Indonesia. We are, I think, top 2 or top 3 in India. India is a big country. It's same like China, but China, overall we are the number 1. We have, I think, 50 factories in China. Of course, we are number 1 in Japan. I forgot Japan.
Number 1 in
But
home base.
yeah, the biggest market is still China and India. These two are giant by any size. Yeah. So we are definitely, when I say number 1, is overall. Yeah, like in Philippines, as I mentioned, we are number 1 in car paint. Yeah, but not in home decorative paint. Yeah, because as I said, we came in 2014. So quite a late comer to introduce this decorative paint. But we are no stranger. If you talk to any car body shop, they know Nippon Paint. Yeah. And that is also an issue because they associate us with the car paint more than the house paint. But the rest of the country, in the Southeast Asia or even Asia Pacific, we are associated more to decorative paint. Because it's like in Japan, definitely car is a big industry. Of course, car paint, we are number 1. Yeah. In China, it's a household paint. Yeah. Of course, we are also in the car, but the Japanese car in China is not as big. Yeah.
Sir, earlier you mentioned that there's misinformation here in the Philippines when it comes to the use of paint, where most Filipino households use exterior paints for interior paints and vice versa. Can you expound on this? Why do you think this is, and how can we break this cycle of misinformation?
I'm not 100% sure how it begins, but based on my experience with most of the country, I'm not saying this is only happen in Philippines, but more peculiar because until today, Philippines still very much on this same type of thinking that can be used interior and exterior. But most other countries already shifted to exterior and interior. Clearly, nobody in let's say Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand will do that anymore. Because I think the main point when it started is due to economic reason. And it's very simple. If you buy one paint like this, you use everywhere, there's no wastage. But if you buy two, one exterior, one interior, if you miscalculate, then the exterior is extra. Then you don't know where to paint. Although the rule of the thumb is exterior paint can be used in interior. Except, as I mentioned,
That's what
it's
we did.
over-engineered. Second thing is the biocide. Yeah. But nowadays, even the biocide are not toxic anymore because it must also be safe for human. Yeah. But previously, I think the reason is more of economic reason. Yeah. So you end up balancing the purchasing power and also the offering. So then you in a way try to sell. This is for everywhere. Imagine a door. The outside facing one have to use in exterior, but inside facing one interior is messy, isn't it? So you say, don't worry, you just paint both sides same. Yeah. But then you can notice the exterior will deteriorate faster if you use a interior paint. Interior paint, in a way, the overall quality is much lower compared to exterior because of the weather issue. But the price is become more expensive. That's why I say it doesn't make sense you use the exterior for interior because over-engineer. That means you pay higher price. But for interior, you need slightly different type of parameter. Yeah, more aesthetic than durability. Yeah. Of course, durability also important, but it's not because sometimes the fashion change. You change your furniture. Suddenly you say the wall. Maybe I also change another colors. So you will change the interior colors more often, like 2-3 years. You say, just a small piece. I repaint it another colors to suit my new curtain and furnitures. But exterior, if a two-story high, you are not able to paint it yourself. And then you have the higher paint. The cost is higher. So that one exterior, maybe you want it to last longer. You find the logic?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, according to your research, you are very new for the Philippine market. So, according to your research, you have something special like materials or special requirements introducing Weatherbond because it is made for Philippines or something that even though it is developed from other country, it can withstand the harsh weather of Philippines.
Yeah, of course. When I mentioned Weatherbond is our common brand worldwide. Yeah. So, but each country we can tweak the formula. Yeah. For Southeast Asia, almost the same, except I say Indonesia and Philippines, you have these volcanoes. Yeah. So definitely this is tested against this acid resistant. So, and Weatherbond was able to withstand that. So that is good. Let's say if I sell a paint in Saudi, they don't have algae problem because there is no rain. So I don't even need to put a biocide inside my paint for selling in Middle East. No rain. But here, I need to put the biocide because you have humidity, rain and shine. Then you have all these algae. So again, it's still Weatherbond in Middle East, but I would take out the biocide because it's redundant. Just like I shouldn't sell a very good shampoo to a guy who's bald, but more to make sure his scalp is good. Yeah, so we don't want to overkill in that sense. So it must be suit for the requirement. Yeah, not to overkill. Yeah.
So, the Filipino market can assure that even though it is new, it will last the requirements they need.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Is the Weatherbond paint using naturally sourced quartz or synthetically
This
produced
one I have
quartz?
to ask these two persons.
That one is the naturally organic material.
Quartz in a way is a stone.
Yes.
Because then they have to process it.
Process it, but coming from
It's
The
coming
raw
from
materials
stone.
yeah,
comes from
natural.
natural.
Then you can ask me, is there any harder than stone? Of course, diamond is harder, but it's too expensive for me to put inside the paint. Yeah, so we have to balance again also the durability, the level of hardness with cost.
Yes.
And of course, other exterior paint they are using other ingredient lower than quartz,
Lower than
which is most likely cheaper. Yeah, as simple as that. Yeah. Just like Rolex watch, also quartz, and my Citizen also quartz.
So when it comes to pricing, do you think your prices are competitive enough for the more established brands?
Nippon paint always more premium. Yeah,
Okay.
premium when it comes to the pricing, but we are not like 50% more. It's 20 to 30%. Yeah, so that is our pricing structure that we believe we can command. Yeah, in terms of just like Japanese car. Yeah, it will be a bit higher than Chinese brand or some other cars. Yeah, but it's not too much. Yeah, but when you look into the long-term perspective, as I mentioned, like the project, actually it might be even cheaper than you use the so-called per can is cheaper, but in the 10 years cycle, you have to paint 3 times, and that cost is
Compared to Weatherbond, where you
yes.
only need to paint like
yeah,
less
10 years
than
maybe
50.
once. Yeah.
Are you optimistic of the Philippine market? Are you going to meet your targets?
Let me get my sales manager. To be very frank, we are very, very positive with Philippines. I hope you don't quote me this, even though my marketing manager said don't ever mention this because they will quote. Philippine market actually is, your GDP is one of the highest in the South ASEAN countries. Yeah, last year you are talking about 5.6 or something. And not many countries are in ASEAN are higher than 5%. Even this year, the IMF or the World Bank still put Philippines much higher than any other countries, and that is remarkable because Philippines doesn't have a lot of natural resources. Unlike Malaysia, you have petroleum and all this, yeah. But the vibrancy of the economy is amazing, yeah. And the people resilient is, for me, is one of the best in the ASEAN countries. Yeah.
So in short, you expect to surpass your targets.
Yes, for the last 2 years, we are making very good progress. We have achieved more than double-digit growth. So we want to continue that. Yeah.
So maybe for last words, maybe try to convince our readers and our viewers why they should choose Nippon Paint Weatherbond compared to other paints.
Again, I go back to our heritage. Yeah, we are the Japanese brand. We are number 1 in Japan. That's why my slogan is or tagline is Japan's number 1 paint brand. Yeah, so you get a definitely good quality paint, and this has been proven globally. Yeah, as I mentioned, we are number 4 in the world. And also in Asia Pacific, we are number 1. So definitely we have that quality and track record to deliver our promise. That is what I can say. Yeah. And one more thing I
Yes.
want to add on is Philippine paint industry has not reached the level that I've seen in any other ASEAN country. Yeah, colors. I think colors is most important thing, especially for ladies for your interior. But a lot of Filipino consumer doesn't know or homeowner doesn't know. Now we can really come up with millions of colors and accurately using our CCM. We call it color creation machine. A lot of shops still use manual tinting. Yeah, and Hallelujah. Depends on the luck. Today you buy it, but tomorrow you want the same colors, it might runs. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. It depends whether the master that do your color mixing have a quarrel with the wife or not the night before. If not, he will add in more and then this is your purple. But with the color creation machine, it's a computerized tinting machine. You get 99.9 accuracy. So it doesn't matter you come in to buy 1 liter, 5 liter today and another 10 liter tomorrow or 1 week later, the same colors, you'll get exactly the same. But for the manual one, you might have a problem. You cannot put side by side and say, hey, why this purple was slightly different? Because it's just, he used his eyes, yeah. And I always believe that, sorry guys, I think guys are worse when it comes to colors. I think most of us
I think you're correct.
That's right.
Because I saw in one country, they put a note there at the paint shop. If you didn't get a written permission from your wife on the color you choose, we won't sell. I still depends on my wife when it comes to color coordination. I think ladies has a better sense in terms of colors, especially when it comes to matching colors. Of course, some guys are good. Yeah, I'm not saying all, but some guys are good. But majority hopeless. Don't quote me.
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. I hope you all